Welcome to this look at the mod that I couldn't get to download yesterday. With me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, the mod that nearly got away. We've got the Prinoth Leitwolf pack by Forst and Fahrzeugbau, 23.74 megabytes download. The main vehicle is 20 slots. We've then got two levelers. We've got a standard version and we have the Pro version. Both these are 3 slots. One of them is 6,000, one of them is 8,000, with a few different tweaks and bits and bobs. So why the Leitwolf? Why do I want it? There's a base game version. Can't we just use that? Of course you can. But this has got some extra bells and whistles. Well, one, the blade is detachable or attachable, depends on how you look at it, because it comes without the blade, then you buy the blade separately. And then you might think, yeah, but that's going to cost me more money then, isn't it? Nope, because the base unit is actually cheaper than the base game base unit. Plus, we've got horsepower's options. We've got options for changing colours on various different things on it as well. It's got a proper operating 3-point on the back. And again, you may argue, but doesn't the standard one have a 3-point? It does. However, it's very limited in what it can do. This does say push anything, anywhere. Or everything, I think. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So I've got a few things out to test that out. We've got some stones, we've got some snow. Yep, we've got a silage clamp with some silage. The level, I think the Pro version, it might be on both actually, but if you tilt the head, and you'll see that how we can go about doing that. When you're doing your leveling on your clamps, if you are leveling clamps with it, you can tilt that. Now you might not want to use it as a leveler, which is kind of what it's designed for, pushing snow. I mean, it's a tracked vehicle, and I used it on Frontier because I thought, oh, that's going to make a really cool tractor unit. However, the rear 3-point didn't work very well. I couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do. I think that has been tweaked by Forst und Fahrzeugbau. So let's have a look at the vehicle, shall we? We go up to miscellaneous, which is where the base game version is. So the base game version is 199,500. The base game version of this is 190,000 because we're missing the blades. You've got to buy the blades separately. But even the Pro version is only 8,000. It still works out cheaper to get that with a blade than it does to buy that. Plus this one, our options are none. 435 horsepower, and that's what you get. So on the modded version, what have we got? We've got the Leitwolf Agri-Power at 435 horsepower. That's the standard horsepower. Or 672 horsepower. And it doesn't charge you. No extra cost for that. 672 horsepower. Now, if the rear 3-point works, as I think it's going to, as it should do, depends how you look at it, that puts it in the category of the high horsepower tractor units. It's tracked, it's quirky, it's a little bit different. It's a kind of go anywhere vehicle for 190 grand. That's already sold me. I mean, I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, take my money. We've then got Windows standard, or we've got a tint. We've got beacon light. We've got design 1, which is the big bulky beacons on top. 2, 3, 4, and back to 1 again. So 3 and 4 are your lower strobe types. You've got your orange and your white clear glass. Then you've got your larger sort of, how do you refer to those? More like a Pringles tube. And then you've got design 2 is your more domed. Let's go with that, yeah. I think I went 4. Main colour, so all the bits on there at the moment are silver. We can change that. For example, let's go red. Metallics are available, as are the mattes, like so. Let's go back to that. So you can go metallic-y if you want to, or metallic inside, so you've got your interior colour if you want to change that. And this is just to show you. You can do whatever you like with it, of course. Pink interior, why not? Decal colour down the side if you want something either to blend it in, so if you don't want to see the decal. So if you're not a decal kind of guy, blend the decal in if you want to. You can probably pick an option that will fit in there nicely. Or if you want to go for something that stands out a bit more, I mean, that doesn't stand out a bit more. potentially, anyway, like I say, whatever. Air conditioning unit on the top, you can change the colour of that, and then the crawler colour as well. So if you want to go for a more, I don't know, a more metallic looking crawler track, you could do that, and then go to custom, go to your metallic. So you've got a more metallic track all round. But if you prefer that colour accent, you can fiddle around, put a colour accent in. Why not? So there we go. So for 193,900, I've tweaked it, changed it, done a few bits and bobs, and I've got 672 horsepower. Nice. Come out from there, and we go down to our silo silage compaction area, to our levelers just here. So there's our first header, 6 grand, second header, 8 grand. Options are the same on both. Like I say, we have got standard and pro version. I'll show the difference between the two. And the options are main colour does the blade, design colour does the bottom of the blade, and again I think we've got metallic options and stuff are available on that as well to mix and match with your main vehicle if you choose. 5 meters wide will do the job. So let's jump into this and start it up. Another reason why I thought about this when I did my Frontier series on 22 was, I mean, it turns on a dime. And like I say, it is pitched as, you know, a kind of go anywhere type vehicle. What is nice as well, if you don't go with the blade, I must admit, I did wonder whether or not, because it said the blade was separate, whether or not the front would be a 3-point link as well, which I think that would, for me personally, would complete the package 100%. Front and rear 3-point on this, that makes it a full tractor. I mean, it will do tractor stuff anyway. Or an adapter plate that went on the front that takes that front section and makes it into a 3-point potentially. But you'll see we have got the option to raise and lower it, so you can get it right out of the way, so it's not, you know, whatever you're doing if you are going to use this tractor unit. And all the tilt and everything is all done from here, as you can see. So L1 right stick, side to side, up and down, then R1, and then we've got our tilt and twist that way as well. So this thing goes all over the place. Now, if you do that and you put it in a strange and unusual position, and then you think to yourself, how do I get that back to normal? L1, reset arm position, back to where it was originally. So you haven't got to worry about making a mess of it and then not being able to pick your blades up properly. So let's pick a blade up. So here's our standard blade. Unfold leveler. Does that. Now obviously all of our tilt and everything is all done from the main part of the vehicle, so all of that will still remain the same. So all of our tilt and stuff, up and down, that movement is all still exactly the same, but that's it. So you've got those movements, that's your standard version. And again, if you get to a point you think, oh hang on a minute, how do I get that back? Easy thing to do, detach it, reset your arm, then attach it back up again, and you're perfectly level and good to go however you want to. So that's your standard version of the leveler. The pro version, difference between the two is the wings. So the wings on it, you've got then the option to adjust the wings too. So again, unfold it. All of the other options are all still there, as you can see, like so. But under L1, R1 now, we've got the option to bring that in, and that in, right in like that. You can have one all the way out, both all the way out, partial. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it for pushing stuff. So the pro version has the option for adjustment of the wingage, which is very nice. All good. Lights, pretty cool. Beacons, if you've gone for them. Horn, or proper truck horn. The interior of the car, I mean, yeah, alright, I went a bit garish with the green. You might want to tone that down a little bit, of course, that's it's up to you. Visibility's pretty good. Sounds good. Top speed's only 14. That's a pucker angle, I have to say, when you change your view. That to that. You're doing whatever work you're going to do. So I suppose what we can do, actually put that like that. I don't know what angle I put that now. But like I say, I can always just change that. Let's bring those out a little bit. So this does say it will push everything anywhere. Try and get that as level as I can, down to the ground a bit. I have to say the incremental change in it especially on a controller, is sweet. It's sometimes you're trying to adjust things, it goes too far one way, too far the other way. It's very controllable, let's just say that. So let's go to our snowbank. And this has got some proper oomph as well, with the 600 horsepower. Wowzers. Okay. So yep, that'll okay, stop pushing it. Can't leave it alone. Raise it up. Do the snow there. Yep, that'll push that. Stones. Let's tilt it out one way, the other way. Let's go that way. Don't know why, but let's try it. Actually, there isn't an option to automatically lower it. You still have to do it manually. I'm just looking at the options there. Go to the main vehicle. L1, R1, L1, R1. No, so you've still got to bring it down manually yourself. Oh, it'll push stones. It does say anything, so you know, that's pretty cool. So I guess the other test then is going to be, what about a clamp, which is kind of what is, you know, it's the main vehicle is a snow type vehicle, but it is in game for sort of silage clamps, that kind of stuff. If I do that, tilt it, what do I want to do? Tilt it backwards a bit maybe. I want it to go kind of up and then we'll tilt so we go straight. I've always said this, I've never been a big fan of levelers. It's not my thing. But if you are trying to get a slope up on, I mean, all of it, I mean, it just does the job, doesn't it? Now that a little bit more. You can adjust your angle to get the slope perfect. That works really well. Let's tilt it at an angle that way. And then do it. So you will get an angled slope. That's pretty cool. Okay, so it does the levelling job, which is kind of what you hope for in a leveller. Now the 3-point on the back, swing around, hook something up on the back. Now, you see there, top left, it says turn on silage compressor and then lower silage compressor. That's awesome. That's what we want. So you might want to level and then do some compacting at the same time. You might have a silage roller, you know, so I can turn that on and drop it down, and we can compact our silo and do whatever we want to. That's very, very cool. Turn it back off again. Now, the other thing being, because for no money, no extra money should I say, we can go up to 600 horsepower plus. Let's tilt that back. Actually, you know what? Let's detach that. Let's reset the arm position. But I'm going to raise it up out of the way and use it as a tractor unit. And like I say, you might say, but it doesn't make any sense because the standard one has got a 3-point link. So why are you making such a big deal? Why are you making such a big old hoo-ha and palaver about the fact that it'll do this? I suppose the other thing being, could do with an option, like I say, for an adapter, so you could put maybe a front weight on there. If we look top left, we've got all our options: fold seeder, open cover, lower seeder, turn on seeder, etc. Now, here's the base game version. That's the base game version with it attached. Now that's lifted that right up off the floor. The base game version has a 3-point link, but it is more just for towing stuff. It will attach 3-point items on, but that's not really lifted particularly far off the ground. And if we go into this vehicle and look top left, L1, R1, L1, R1, for the cultivator, I've got the option to fold it, but I've got no option to raise or lower it. I can't use that cultivator. I can't go into the field and lower the cultivator and cultivate because there's no option on the base version for raising or lowering implements on that rear 3-point. And if it's not doing it on that, let's try it on the plough. And obviously your leveller's attached all the time. The base version, like I said, doesn't have all the options for colour choice and that kind of thing. And it is set at the 435 horsepower. Let's hook up to that. So there's our plough on. Fold plough, allow create fields, but no option to lower it. So I can't, so whilst I can fold it, I can transport it and stuff, that's great, but I can't do any more with it than that on the base version. So that's why the modded one is, in my opinion, so much better. So why not try it? See what we're going to have to do first, because this seed unit planter is not a direct draw, I don't think. So let's drop that. And we'll prove the point actually straight away. This is the modded Lizard 6 MT, 6, 9 or 12 metre. Fold it, unfold it, raise and lower it. As you can see, it's this lower plough. Excellent stuff. And with the horsepower this thing's got, it's no slouch. It'll get the job done. And again, for the price, I'll say, I just think if it had a front 3-point, you could do, you know, I'm not saying you can't do, but you could do like mowing jobs with the front mower and rear mowers and stuff like that. It would be a more versatile vehicle, but I have to say it's pretty versatile already, isn't it? Lower that down and away we go. Oh, that's interesting for turning. I mean, it is turning. I suppose because it doesn't turn like a normal vehicle does, because being trapped. But you can, when you get to the end of your rows. I mean, even doing that, look, I mean, you're just turning on itself. It's amazing. Now I have no affiliation with HR Forst and Fahrzeugbau, so I'm not, you know, it's like, oh, you're just making it. No, I genuinely think it's a brilliant bit of kit. I really like it. It is very, very cool. Like I say, in my opinion, could it do with a little couple of adjustments? But that's just me, you know, and I would never message them and say, you need to do this to it, or can you do this to it? No, this is the mod they've bought out. But as it is, as it stands, awesome bit of kit. Really like that. So there you go. We finally got it to download and we've done the review on it. So that's the Prinoth Leitwolf pack by HR Forst and Fahrzeugbau. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thanks for watching.